Boy, it's a hot one out there today. Well, you know how the Gray family curse? You guys are more than welcome to take this if you want it. Just change your last name to Gray. And join in on the fun, the festivities, if you will. You know, you're trying to save money and stuff, kind of things, and you know, if one thing goes bad, let's at least double or triple it, okay? So this all starts. Let me get a drink. I'm so done working outside for now. Oh, hell yeah. Busch Light. Beer of choice. Cool and refreshing. Great for all occasions, including shit occasions. So, had a great day yesterday. As you may have seen, I made graham crackers and stuff for the first time. It was cool. All that good, happy crap. And, well, had cheeseburgers. I grilled cheeseburgers and stuff for Easter dinner. Cheeseburgers and garlic curly fries I made yesterday. It was killer, as usual, you know. But, LEG the mama went to Squeak's house to help her clean out a bunch of crap. So I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting in here doing my thing and watching YouTubes and just having a good old time drinking beer. It's great. And it got to be about, I don't know, 10 after 9 or so. And Sheila's booping me with her nose in the ribs over here. I go boop, boop, boop. She likes to do this. Like that. Which means come here, follow me. She wanted to go to bed so she could beg for some cheeseburger and stuff and some french fries. I know that dog. She's my dog, I know. But, so I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. Screw it. So I heated up my cheeseburger. We went to bed. Had some cheeseburger and stuff. She waited for her dinner for the most part. And then she ate her little bit of plate lickings and stuff. Little nibbles of cheeseburgers and fries. And I watched YouTube till down to about 10, roughly. Shut off the TV. And, well, I went to sleep. I fell asleep. Boom, out cold. And, I get up, phone's ringing. It's, I don't know, later after I went to sleep. So I'm all groggy and I'm trying to find my way out to the kitchen. I get out there, phone stops ringing. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I decided to pee anyway. I come in there to pee. Phone rings again. Time I get the phone, I back out in the great room. I got it just to the door, man cave door right here. So by the time I got to the great room and reached for the phone, I was groggy, didn't realize my phone's right here. But anyway, I seen it was LEG the mama, and I heard mumbling going on in here very quietly. And I'm like, what the f***? So I went ahead and pee, and I called her back, and didn't think she was going to answer. But all of a sudden she answers. She's
like, hello, it's me and stuff.
I'm like, yeah, I can see that. It says the Wi-Fi on the phone. And she says,
I got a flat tire. I'm down here by the octopus house.
There's a house down the street from us, about 2 city blocks from here, just down the way that way, that has a big concrete, like octopus head and then arms and tentacles reaching out of the ground all over the yard. It's pretty cool. And I'm like, yeah, I know where that's at.
She says, I have a flat tire. What should I do? Walk home, or we can come and deal with it in the morning, or what?
I said, well, first off, you're on the side of the road, and people aren't going to like that, being in front of their yard. Second off, I said, you're just down the street. Is it a front flat or a rear flat? That makes a difference.
So it's a rear one.
I said, okay. Start that thing up, put it in drive, and just let the thing go at its own speed. Just take your foot off the brake and let it just come home. And stop when you get in the driveway, and I'll take a look at it in the morning. So she limped it on home anyway. She said,
what about the tire?
I said, what are you going to do, ruin it? That tire's been on there for, oh my God. First time she went back to visit Illinois, that tire's been on there for almost 7 years. You're not going to ruin it. It's shot to death already. She ran over a little screw, but I'm telling you, these tires might as well go on a dragster. They're slicks damn near. Can't afford to put tires on it. So anyway, she limped it home. Okay. So I went out there this morning and looked at it. I'm like, okay, well, shit. So I pulled it around where it normally parks. Angled a little bit more, so it only takes about 37 turns to get the motorhome out. In case we needed to. I was going to get the donut out and put a smack of donut on it, and she could go to Walmart and get a tire. But I went out there and I opened the back of the van, found the jack kit. Guess what's missing out of the jack kit? The section that goes into the back bumper, that goes into the crank that lowers the spare tire. So that tire's up there. It is now part of the van, folks. I can't get that tire down. That ain't going to happen. So shit. Well, anyway, here we go, right? This tire is shot. Sidewalls are blown out in 4 places anyway, from driving it the rest of the way home, but that's how wore out they were anyway. Anyways, I get the jack under there. I guess it's under the jack location. That van used to have the owner's manual, but it doesn't now. But I found a good steel spot. I seen where somebody crushed it with a car lift, a couple of spots on the body and 4 spots. That was the wrong place to pick it up, wasn't it? So I found the jack place and put a jack under there and started jacking it up. Half turn at a time. Don't get me wrong, but these car jacks these days suck ass. They take forever to pick up the car. Whatever happened to the good old bumper jacks that I had my 74 Dodge Dart? You hooked that thing in a hole on the bumper, that car went right off the ground. Anyway, about, I don't know, 6.5 hours later, I'm kind of exaggerating there, after a very long time of little cranks on that little jack, rotate it, I got the tire to come off the ground. Yes, I broke the lug nuts loose before lifting it. I know how to do these things. So, anyway, I got the tire off the damn thing. And I'm like, okay. So I wheeled it around. We'll take the motorhome, throw it in the motorhome. And by now, LEG the mama's up and out there talking with me and stuff. We loaded the tire up in the motorhome. We'll take it out there and just get a new tire. And we'll worry about the other 3 slicks when we can afford them. You know what I mean? So anyway, we get ready to go, hop in the motorhome. We get just about to the end of our street where we turn out to go towards town. And I'm like, I still get a whiff of antifreeze every now and then out of this thing. I don't know if the motor's just filthy but it smells like antifreeze. It's got to be a drip or a leak or something's going on. So we stopped at a light, and it was super long this time. The light was, for some unknown reason. So the motorhome commenced to start overheating a little bit, and I'm panicking. Kicked the heater on, and kicked on the fan for the heater. That helps it circulate through the heater core and keeps it, a little more room to cool off. That brought the temperature back down once we got moving. And we drove on out to Walmart, and LEG the mama said,
I kind of smell antifreeze now too, come to think of it.
So I said, I'll look when we get to Walmart. So we got to Walmart. I looked under the damn thing, and I opened the hood, looked in there. You can't see anything under that hood. It's all air intake. It's in the way. It takes up all the whole front of the engine kind of area up there. So I couldn't see anything from the top, so I looked underneath of it, and sure enough, I saw a little green drip. I'm like, aha, it's dripping. And I saw another little green drip back behind that. I'm like, why is it dripping back there? Well, there's a plastic shield under there. So it was hitting the plastic shield, it's running back down the plastic shield, it's dripping here, and it's dripping back there off of the plastic shield. So I'm looking around. Well, not for the leak, because you can't see up from the bottom either. Anywhere near the front of that engine to check hoses or thermostat housing, any of that shit. You can't see it. There's a plastic shield down below, and there's an air cleaner up on top. So I got to teach myself how to take that all apart and track down that leak. Needless to say, I bought some stop leak, a little bit of that. Didn't put it in there. Hot. Still warm, you know. We wasn't in Walmart that long to put a tire on. Let's just put it that way. Not to cool off that thing. That's a 16 mile one-way drive. So, anyway. Yeah. So we get back home with a tire. Haven't done anything to motorhome because I got to teach myself how to disassemble that, so I can look down upon the front of the engine and see if it's just an old radiator hose dry rotted, a heater line could have dry rotted. It's an old van, 31 years old, or it's a 94, 2004, 2014, 2024, 25. Yeah, it's a 31-year-old van, but it's only got 49,000 some odd miles on it. So, anyways, I don't think it'd be the water pump or anything like that. It's got to be a hose somewhere dripping that dry rotted and cracked over the years. I'm hoping. So I figured, screw it. I'll let that cool down, and I'll let me cool down, and figure out what's going on with that sometime. Maybe while LEG and Squeak are up in Illinois, I'll tear into the van or in the motorhome. But I get back to putting the tire on the van. Well, the van with new tire, the rim with the new tire, is of course about 2.5 inches taller than it was before, because, you know, air in the bottom of the tire. Makes sense. 2.5, 3 inches taller, where the lug nuts need to go on. So, LEG and I go out there, and I start cranking on this little stupid scissor jack that comes with the van. It's the only thing we've got on hand. My floor jack lost hydraulic. It blew the hydraulics out of it a long time ago, after we first moved here. But anyway, I'm cranking on this thing and cranking on this thing, and it's going up ever so slightly with each half a crank. I get looking at the threads on this jack, and we're on level ground, folks. And I says, you know what? Stupid jack's not tall enough to pick this van up to put a tire back on it. You can take one off easy, but you know what? You pick up from the pickup point on the van, it doesn't lift the suspension. It does this. Whoop, and the van goes up, and the suspension slowly kind of hangs down at full, hanging like this. I'm like, son of a bitch. And if I was in the dirt, I'd have just dug a 2-inch hole about 6-7 inches wide underneath, you know, of the tire and put it on that way. I've done that before too. Dig out about a foot deep hole and smack a tire on, then fill most of the hole in and drive out of the hole. But anyway, we get thinking, got a 10-ton bottle jack somewhere. I'm like, Jesus, where am I going to hook a bottle jack that isn't going to kill me? You know? So we finally dug through the motorhome, and we found one of the 2 bottle jacks. I don't know where the other one is at all. I have no idea. But I am put it under the suspension link arm, you know, the rear link. And I'm like, if I pick up here, that rear link, and body should stay, and the rear link should do this here, you see. Compress up. So I got it up under there. I didn't know if the tire was going to hit this little jack or not. Little bottle jack or not. So I kept moving it forward, and I moved it as far as I could forward, and I moved it back as far as I could, and I'm like, if I go anywhere else, this jack ain't going to do shit. Jack shit, get it? I thought I'd throw that out there for you. It's the kind of day I've had. And anyway, start jacking up on that jack a little bit at a time, and I'm looking, and I'm staying well the hell out from under that van. And I'm watching, and that suspension's going up a little. And I'm looking at the jack. The jacks are right next to each other. Scissor jack's here, bottle jack's like right here, right? And I'm looking to see if this comes up. The van comes off of that scissor jack or not. Because that would be deadly to the van, and possibly me. So stay clear. Basically, don't do this kind of tire work, people, but I had no choice. But, Anyway, I'm jacking up, and I'm like, hey, I think that hub is coming up pretty good. I said, got my little stick. She got me a measuring stick, a real stick. I hold that stick down there. There's a little V in it, a little, crotch in the stick, a little, whatever you want to call it. And then that, sure enough, that bottom lug is coming up out of that little notch in the stick. And I'm like, this thing's coming up. Get the tire stood up and wheel it over here so I can get, close to where I can see where it's going to go on. Because I want to do this quick. So, got it to go up. Tire lined up. I got the tire on. LEG the mama grabs the lug nuts and starts handing them to me. I start trying to start these lug nuts. I'm getting them on there. One here, one there, one over there, one up there, one over there. And I got the lug nuts on. Good. So I snugged them up a little bit. And I says, now what I need you to do is very, very, very carefully go open the door to the van. Don't shut the door. Just open the door. Gently sit down in the seat. It was on the passenger side, the flat, so the van's kind of sitting this way. And push the brake pedal in for me so I can snug these lugs up before we set the van on the ground. Because I've done that before too, when I didn't know what I was doing, changing the tire. Just start the lug nuts a little bit, finger tight, set the vehicle down on the ground, and the tire went wha-boink. And there was no way in hell I was going to get them lug nuts on. Not all of them. I could get one of them to tighten up. So anyway, got the lug nuts good and snug. Tell her to get out of the van. And I let all the air out of the tire, hoping we could squat it down just a little bit. And then we got about a half-inch play out of it, which helps. Brand new tires don't squat very well, even when they're flat and not on a vehicle. So anyway, we got it to squat down a little bit, and it helped a lot. Got the tire on there, snugged it up. I got the bottle jack out. I took the 16 years to crank the stupid little scissor jack back down a little quarter of a crank at a time, or a half a crank at a time. And finally got it gone. And then I finished tightening the lug nuts, put the hubcap back on, and then filled the little air compressor to 100 pounds 2 times it takes to put 33 pounds of air in a tire. You got to pump that little, it's just a little compressor, not my big one. Big one doesn't have a long enough cable to reach, airline to reach that far. So a little portable one, I filled it to 100 pounds twice, and it put 33 pounds of air in the tire, which is within specs of the tire. Yeah. And I'm super overheated hot. And as you can see, I dove into the slop sink. That one right there, to be exact, I'm pointing right at it. That slop sink is a lifesaver. Turn on the cold water, dive in. All the way up to my shoulders. Run cold water, dry off a little bit, comb the hair, and then I decided I'd do this update real quick. And that's about the way everything's been going here in BLG land. To shit in the handbasket again. Now I get to figure out what the hell the van is doing and pray that it's something easy and cheap. Wish me luck. I'm going to be digging into that thing. I don't know that I'm going to take it with me or not. I don't know. I may or may not. I'll be doing a lot of swinging for the fences, cussing, and throwing tools, trying to get around underneath the hood of that little van in that little space. So anyways, the motorhome I'm talking about, not the van itself, the motorhome. The big van, the 1-ton, with the 30-foot, length. But anyway, that's about it. I'll catch up with you guys later, just an update. I'm going to go play... Well, I'm going to finish this beer and do this video. And I believe I'm going to play me some, maybe some Ranch Simulator. I'm up to where I'm ready to make the next video in that game. So, we'll see how that goes. So, till the next time, folks, you know what to do. Peace out. Just peace out.